I should have trusted my gut. I remember waking up on the morning of my wedding, staring at the ceiling fans spinning lazily above me and feeling this deep, silent dread in my chest. It wasn't nerves, it wasn't excitement, it was a gnawing, quiet certainty that I was about to chain myself to someone who didn't love me. Not really. I remember standing in front of the mirror that day, tying my tie, rehearsing a smile that I didn't feel. I kept telling myself, she loves me. She's just anxious. She's going to change once we're married. She didn't change. She became worse. From the very beginning, it was clear something was off. There was a coldness that crept in almost immediately, like the warmth of our dating days had been a mask she no longer needed. And me? I wanted it to work. I wanted to believe I'd made the right choice. So I gave more and more and more until there was almost nothing left of me. A few months in, I checked our shared account and noticed that tens of thousands of dollars were gone. Just vanished. No conversation, no explanation. When I confronted her, she didn't even flinch. She casually mentioned she had used the money as a down payment on a luxury condo. Not for us, not as a shared dream, for herself. When I told her she had no right to spend our money like that without even telling me, she scoffed. You're the man. You're supposed to provide. This is what a husband does. No apology, no recognition of betrayal, just entitlement, dressed up as marital duty. But I still stayed, because I thought love meant compromise. And I compromised. I bent over backward to keep the peace. I kept working long hours, kept funding her whims, designer bags, boutique spa days, shopping trips to feel better about herself. I once bought her a Michael Kors bag, thinking it'd cheer her up. She opened the box, looked at it for 3 seconds, and said, "This doesn't match my phone case. Why would you get this color?" That wasn't an isolated moment. That was the pattern. Disdain, contempt, dismissiveness. I went from feeling like a partner to feeling like an employee who was always underperforming. I'm a doctor. I work ridiculous hours. I've saved lives. I've held dying hands and delivered impossible news to families. But in my own home, I was treated like I was never enough. 10 years. 10 years I gave to that woman. And when I finally tallied it all, I realized I had less than $2,000 to my name. A decade of financial abuse and manipulation disguised as partnership. There were no children. Not because we couldn't, but because she wasn't ready. That's what she said year after year. Until I realized she wasn't planning a family. She was planning an escape route, one padded by my income, my labor, my sacrifice. We hadn't touched each other in years. Our bedroom became a Cold War zone, and every night felt like punishment. There was no warmth, no curiosity, no kindness, just two strangers sharing a space, pretending it wasn't already over. But I was the coward. I stayed because I thought leaving would destroy me. I didn't want to be the man who gave up. So I died slowly every day, pretending I was okay. Until one day I wasn't. One random Wednesday, I couldn't do it anymore. I sat in my car after a double shift, hands gripping the wheel, and just cried. Not because of a fight, not because of anything dramatic. Just because I realized that if I didn't leave now, I'd wake up at 70 with this same hollow ache in my chest, wondering where my life went. I rented a tiny apartment across town, ordered IKEA furniture, bought a mattress and a few dishes. I remember the smell of the cardboard, the way the light came through the blinds for the first time. It wasn't fancy, but it was mine. I returned the Mercedes she pressured me into leasing, got a used Prius instead. Simple, honest, reliable. The night before I told her I didn't sleep. I sat on my bare mattress, staring at the ceiling again. Same spinning fan, different life. When morning came, I skipped my usual run, skipped coffee. I waited. She came downstairs like any normal day, hair wrapped in a silk scarf, scrolling through her phone like nothing mattered but the latest notification. "I need to talk to you," I said. She barely looked up. "Uh-huh." So I said it, flat, clear, honest. I want a divorce. The cup in her hand paused midair. She looked at me as if I'd spoken in a foreign language. "What?" "I'm done, Amanda. I want out. We're not happy. We haven't been happy. You don't respect me. You don't even see me anymore." She blinked, then laughed, like it was as a joke. But when I didn't smile, she panicked. The tears came fast, weaponized and familiar. "How can you say that? I love you. I've always loved you. We just need to talk more. We can go to therapy." I reminded her I had begged for therapy last year. She rolled her eyes back then, told me I was being too emotional. Now she wanted to fix things. I didn't budge. She cried harder, louder, promised change, begged, pleaded, but I felt nothing. It was like watching someone act out a scene from a movie I'd already seen 100 times. I packed a bag, told her I'd send a lawyer, walked out. That night, I ate cold pad thai on a cardboard box in my new apartment, and it was the best meal I'd had in years. The silence wasn't heavy, it was peaceful. For the first time in a decade, I felt like me again. I started going to a local cafe each morning, just to feel human again. The barista there, Amy, was sweet. Her smile wasn't forced. She remembered my order. She asked how my day was. I wasn't looking for anything, but just being seen, even as a regular customer, felt like healing. But Amanda wasn't done. One morning, I was sipping coffee, lost in a book, when I heard her voice. There you are. I looked up and froze. She was standing there, wild-eyed, scanning the cafe like she was tracking prey. People turned to stare. "What are you doing here?" I asked. "I should ask you that," she hissed. "You're sitting here flirting with some coffee girl while our marriage falls apart?" I stood, trying to de-escalate. "Amanda, we talked about this. Please leave." She didn't. She got louder, called me a creep, accused me of abandoning her, said I was having a midlife crisis. Amy looked horrified. I left. She followed, through the streets, to my car. She banged on the window as I drove off. It didn't stop there. She started forwarding all her mail to my apartment, bills, subscriptions, even her Sephora catalogs. I called, asked her to stop. She laughed. "Well, since you're paying for everything, it makes sense for it to come to your place." She showed up at my workplace. Told HR I was using drugs, that I was mentally unstable. She went nuclear. I got a restraining order. She fought it in court, brought Photoshop screenshots, fake accusations, claimed I'd hit her once during a trip to Mexico, a trip that never happened. She was unraveling, but still dangerous. One night I came home late and found her inside my apartment, sitting on the couch like nothing happened. "I still had a key," she said with a smile. I called the police. She was gone before they arrived. I changed the locks that night, bought a security camera the next morning. I can't lie and say it's all behind me. Some nights I still see her car down the street, watching, waiting. Legally, she can't come near me, but legally doesn't mean emotionally gone. Still, I'm reclaiming myself. I'm not the man who married her. I'm not the man she drained dry. I'm the man who left, who chose peace, who chose freedom. And I will never let anyone take that from me again.